Absolutely. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in for our pre-match build-up. Liverpool, hugely anticipated. We are back at Anfield. Full crowds, not just Anfield, but around the country over the last couple of weeks anyway. Cracking to see, but I'm joined by three very special guests. I really do appreciate the lads taking the time out tonight. And if you are watching this on the repeat or on live, get your comments in the comment section below. I know the lads will very much reply to you, and me as well. But quickly introduce you, to Owen from the Cop On. If you're not aware of his channel, make sure you do head over to subscribe. You're starting on YouTube, aren't you, very soon, mate?
Hence the flashy new background. Whoa. And I've got all these flashy filters that might just my favorite one's probably that one. That's probably my favorite one because I do like that one. This one's pretty good. So I think it adds gravitas to my opinion. So I'm going to be probably distracting you by playing around with these because yes, it's a new thing. We're starting with Cop on YouTube to do like a weekly show of Premier League predictions and looking at all the Premier League games. And it's open to fans of other clubs. I'd love to see us sometime, both of the Dans and Jack as well, of course, open to everybody. And it's going to be a bit of debate. Everyone can get involved. And I'm very excited about it. And I'm really excited to be here. So thank you so much, Jack, for the invite.
You're very welcome. And Dan from the Mighty Reds TV, head over to Dan's channel, subscribe. All the links will be in the description anyway. But you know who he is, and we'll be getting all three of the lads on throughout the season. And Dan from the Turf Moor House TV, thank you very much for taking the time out to come on. It was great to get the opposition fan view as well. Just non like biased Liverpool point of view anyway. but thank you very much for coming on, mate.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I look forward to it.
Yeah. So. First, lads, really do appreciate you coming on. Everyone at home, let's get to all your comments before we do get straight into it. Doug from the Dugout Football Channel.
Hello, Doug, mate.
Good evening, the Fab Four. Thank you very much. We might have to start a five-a-side team, all of us anyway. All the YouTubers. Dan Get, about Zuni, absolute legend. I do appreciate every single one of you taking the time out. Evening, lads. And as well, how are we doing, Reds? Not too bad, Sean. Thank you very much. But Dan, we'll get straight into it, really, from a Burnley point of view. How has pre-season gone, and has there been any injury updates from the Burnley camp as well?
Well, heading into the game, the only injuries really are probably good injuries, if anything, because it means they're not going to play at Anfield, which means we've got a better chance of winning. And that's Dale Stephens and Kevin Long, who should nowhere be near our first team anyway. So, yeah, them being injured isn't really much of a miss. I would say that we're pretty much full strength going there with our strongest lineups, strongest players available. Other than that, pre-season went pretty well. We nearly had a 100% record. Yeah. We got beat 2-0 at the Turf by Cadiz, who obviously, literally the week before, ended up winning a trophy by beating Atletico Madrid. So... they're doing something right. But yeah, pre-season was pretty good. It was nice. It was nice to get a few games in. Blackpool away, Oldham away, just a couple of old grounds that it was just nice to get out and about, a couple of beers with your mates, seeing everybody in the pubs beforehand. It almost was, it was like having that mate that's never been let out because he's in a controlling relationship, and he finally comes out for a pint and you all celebrate. It was like, it's one of them moments.
Yeah, no, it's spot on in it, lads, as well, and ladies as well around the world. It's great that football is back, especially in the UK. It's massive. Obviously, football and as a sport is very global in relation to that as well. But I'm really excited. It's the first time, Dan, in it, that Liverpool will have fans back at Anfield. It's so exciting, isn't it? From Liverpool point of view. We missed that last year, didn't we? Probably there's no other club in the Premier League, especially everyone from the outside point of view. When the Anfield crowd is up for it, it just adds, it's more or less Liverpool's 12th man.
Are you talking to me, Dan, or the other Dan?
Scout
Yeah,
Sam.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
introduce you to Scout Sam.
I wasn't quite sure then. Yeah, oh, mate, I cannot wait for it. I mean, sometimes I think, I don't want to be like one of these fans who says, oh, it makes such a difference to us, because it makes a difference to everyone, does it? But even just watching the games last week, it was brilliant. Watching that Man City Tottenham game, it was like having the game back, wasn't it? Proper football. Personally, for me, it's the first game for me that I'm going to have been to since, I call it the James Milner game. But I mean, the one where he hooked it off the line against Bournemouth, wasn't it? That's the first game that I'll have been to since then. So absolutely can't wait, mate. It's going to be dead exciting. It's as I say, it's just proper football, and it's great to watching all the games. And suddenly, everything just seems alive again, doesn't it? Where last season it was just like a PR exercise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just to try and get through the games and sort out all the league ladders and all that, and sort out the European qualification. But now this is the real stuff for me, and I absolutely can't wait. To say it's my first game for going on 18 months. It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait. Normally, 12:30, with respect to Dan's turf more than 12:30 against Burnley on a Saturday, it'd be a bit flat, wouldn't it, at Anfield? It wouldn't be the best, but it wouldn't be one to look forward to. But I think Anfield's going to be absolutely rocking. Can't wait.
I agree with you, though. I do agree with you. I think, all the recent games that have been between us have been pretty close when it comes to Burnley, Liverpool at Anfield. But the fact that fans are back, just that, the players must feel that excitement as soon as everyone bursts into "You'll Never Walk Alone." I mean, if you've never been to Anfield, you are missing out. Hearing that echo, it doesn't just echo around the stadium; it echoes throughout Liverpool. You can hear it far and wide. It's sort of like sucks you in. It sucks you in. I mean, it has more of a meaning for myself. It was played at my nana's funeral, so I do have an affection with the song itself. Not an affection, an affinity. So it's when that played again on the opening home game of the season for you guys, it's going to be special, especially from a Liverpool fan perspective, even looking in from the outside as well.
Yeah, it's the part of why every club is in the Premier League as well, isn't it? Even when you do go around the grounds in the Premier League, the atmospheres, the rivalry as well. It's so important, and that's why us football fans are here. Like we love football, innit? But spot on there, lads. Owen, it's exciting. As Dan was alluding to, early kickoffs are usually very difficult. I think up and down the country, it takes a while for everyone to wake up in the early kickoffs. Have a cuppa, a bevy, whatever beverage you want anyway. But do you reckon Liverpool, the intensity will be there for an early kickoff?
Oh, definitely. And I'm so happy for you guys because, you live in this, beautiful city of Liverpool. When I lived in Liverpool, it was 1998-99 season, that long ago. And I'm from a little island, and I always grew up loving Liverpool. It was always my team. And I remember my dad, bless him, he took me to Anfield when I was 14 for the first time, and the appreciation of going to a match for the first time. I'm sure you all remember your first time at the match and what a magical experience that is. And it's almost like that again, a little bit. It's obviously it's not the same. It's not as good as your first match. But what I'm saying is after 18 months of not having it, you can really appreciate, like me, I live in France, here I am in Spain at my mum's place. I very, 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 very rarely get to see a Liverpool match because they're just too expensive to go over and get a ticket and pay for hotels and all that stuff. So the last time I went, I've been maybe 5 times. So it's quite a long answer, but it's important to me. The last time I went was actually just before the lockdown for my 40th birthday. It was a present. It was my 40th birthday present, and it was a surprise, and it was beautiful. And I was so emotional. I'm emotional talking about it now. And it was like, for these amazing Reds team, it was a routine 4-0 victory. And, the people around me, they were like, they were occasionally complaining at the players and and I was like thinking, I didn't tell them. I was thinking, what are you doing complaining at these guys? they're absolutely unbelievable athletes, and they're giving their all, they're trying, and even if they misplace a pass, everybody makes mistakes. I don't know how many mistakes you guys make in your jobs. I make a few in mine, but
sometimes on purpose.
Okay, well, yes, there's
been spots when I've been doing podcasts, and I think obviously doing media and that, even clicking record, it's probably the most simplest thing. You've just sat there for a good half an hour and you're like, I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm pressed record.
Yeah, that's happened to me totally a few times. So it's like that thing where you're coming back and you really, everybody in the ground, the home fans, the away fans, everyone's gonna be like, wow, this is it, we've missed it. So it's going to be full of positivity, it's going to be full of great energy, and I'm glad that everyone can sort of having, obviously it's been a freaking horrible time with for so many people, but to appreciate the beauty of the distraction stroke thing that we're all completely passionate about and in love with football. It's going to be absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, absolutely spot on there, lads. Make sure you do get your comments in, Reds, as well. If you've got any questions to ask the lads or me as well, get your comments in, your thoughts on the game. And Dan, from an outside point of view, I've watched Burnley. It's difficult. Our owners, they've got money to spend, but Burnley are not a Manchester City. They've got multi-billions to spend. And from an outside point of view, Dan, I want to know your thoughts. Is it difficult not watching Burnley, but in terms of the transfer recruitments, every single season that goes by, ideally, what would you want signings? It's obviously not as easy as saying getting players out and into your football club as well, but just what are your expectations for Burnley this season in relation? And do you think, do you need to sign any players come the end of the transfer window?
Massively. We need recruitment in numbers. As I said on Doug's channel, it wouldn't surprise me if we open a shop soon and start recruiting like the army. We need more people in. We really, really do. We're lacking pace. We're lacking flair. Burnley have been screaming out for pace for years, and the only time they get pace is in a chairman called Alan Pace. And even still, we still can't even recruit well enough. Obviously, there's still time left. Fingers crossed there's a couple more over the line. But Dash wants a grafter. He's not just going to splash millions on somebody that could come in, disrupt the harmony, ruin everything. They do a lot of background work. They don't just look at a player and think, okay, he had 2 or 3 good games, bring him in. As you said, we haven't got the spending powers. You can't even delve into the Championship anymore without spending 20 to 30 million on a half decent player. It's ridiculous. And we've been known for doing that, looking further down the leagues and trying to find a gem. You're not going to be able to do like what Leicester did and find the next Jamie Vardy. It's going to be ridiculously difficult to do that on a budget. So we need to start looking in the foreign markets where you may be able to pick up a bargain or two. But we've never been in the foreign market. Every time we've been in the foreign markets, it's been a nightmare. We've barely brought anyone in with a bit of class. I mean, Stephen Defoe was absolutely one of those that, it was just a bolt from the blue, that one. And, that one paid off. But we've had people like Fernando Guerrero, the first season that we got promoted on loan from, I don't know, some Chilean side or something. And he played about 2 games and he was absolutely rapid, but couldn't play football. And then we've had players like Diego Penny, who was our second choice goalkeeper. He played the first game of the season we got promoted to the Prem. The season before that, when we were in the Championship, and he conceded 4 goals against Sheffield Wednesday on the opening day. He never played for Burnley again. The thing is, we need some quality. We need some pace in there because we've got an aging squad. And it's like I said on Doug's channel, we have got the only comparison I can put with Burnley and Barcelona is the fact that Barcelona got to a point where with Iniesta, Xavi, Ronaldinho, Piqué, Puyol, they were all getting on a bit. Valdez were even getting on. They had a clump of players that was at a certain age and they thought, right, we need to move them on, but also bring in class because you need to replace that, that element of good football technical ability. And Barcelona will have the spending power to do that. We really don't. We really do not have that. And to try and get a player in that you think could just slot straight into your first team. We've not bought a first team player now for yonks. It's been years. You know, we've had the same.
In like
No,
4 years
the
ago.
last signing that we what for the first team.
Yeah, like straight in guaranteed first.
Lennon
team,
was on
big
loan.
signing for
Was it a couple of
16
seasons
million.
ago?
No, Lennon was with us permanently.
Was
he
he?
did, yeah. Funnily enough, he's training with us, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's the only thing that happens, that he comes back to us on a short-term deal or something. But we need something. We're screaming out for a winger. We're screaming out for somebody at the back. You know, if Tarkowski goes, we are done for.
Yeah, I've seen me get linked with Arsenal as well, and even in Pope, I really do. When you look at a goalkeeper, we've got Allison between the sticks, but it wasn't as easy a couple of years prior to the goalies we had. But you can really appreciate a goalkeeper, especially when Nick Pope, his clean sheets speak for themselves over the last couple of seasons. It's difficult, and I think it's very similar, not in terms of budget and that, but it's when both clubs have got very good managers at the resources in which they've got available. Because it's whether from a point of view outside of Burnley, you look at Sean Dyche and what a fantastic job he's doing every single season to keep Burnley in the Premier League and given the budget, as you've already alluded to there, Dan. It's whether the board believe. Do you reckon the board will keep faith, give him a new contract?
Oh, massively.
Yeah,
massively, mate. They want him to stay. They said when they came in from the offset, you know, our main priority is keeping Sean Dyche at this club. Now, that for me was a huge selling point, because you remove Dyche out of the system and it's like ripping the spine out. You know, there's not just the spine out of the team. You know, you can take a good player out. Yeah, you can take a good player out of a team due to injury and it affects you. But you get rid of Dyche and it will affect us massively. It'll be another similar situation to what happened when we lost Owen Coyle and the way that we did. I mean, that Judas git can just sod off. I don't even want to give him airtime. But he's, you know, it'd end up like that. But there would be less hate for it because I don't think Dyche would make a sideways move like the other idiot did.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it, mate? And fingers crossed Burnley can keep hold of him.
I hope you guys can make some more signings as well, because you've only brought Canate in, haven't you? And
yeah, it's me, Owen, and Dan, and I go the Reds. We ideally us fans would like it, but it's the people up top of these clubs, innit? We're not backed by a state, sadly. That can just throw money at the football club. But yeah, absolutely spot on, mate. It'd be interesting to see how Burnley do go in the next couple of years. I think if you can keep hold of Sean Dyche, like we've seen with Sheffield United, the crazy decision that they decided to get rid of Wilder, and obviously they went down. I felt they should have kept hold of him, but fingers crossed, the people running Burnley and Liverpool and all these top clubs can have their heads screwed on. But absolutely spot on there, mate. Dan. Scouts Dan, are you excited? What's one of the expectations come early Saturday morning anyway, that you really want to see Liverpool progress from the back of the Norwich win anyway? It was an emphatic win, but is it defensively, the creativity that from the midfield players? What really aspect of the game from Liverpool come Saturday do you want to see really Liverpool improve off the back of last year? But obviously, if you want to allude to the Norwich game as well.
Well, going off last week, I mean, you can't really argue too much, can you, with a 3-0 away win? I know Norwich are probably going to be relegation fodder come the end of the season, but still to go there on the opening day with their fans behind them and that and turn them over 3-0, you've got to be fairly pleased with that. There was also, you know, quite a few other chances, stuff tacked off the line, this, that, the other, a few good saves with their keeper. So overall performance last week, I was absolutely thrilled with it. More of the same, hopefully, come Saturday morning. I do expect there'll be some changes, though. I don't expect much change, obviously not with the keeper or the back four, but I think in midfield, I think we might see Fabinho and Thiago come in instead of Milner and Oxlade-Chamberlain. And maybe there might be Bobby Firmino come in up top instead of Jota. But I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I've gone with Jota to spoil the my start 11. Went with Jota leading the line, because obviously when you do play Burnley, it's very physical side, but can play football at times, and I think you need that aerial presence. I don't think Bobby, for me personally, offers that aerial threat. Watch him score a hat-trick of headers on Saturday.
Let's hope so.
But yeah, he's spot on there, Dan. Owen, would you add on to what Dan said there? As he said, it's difficult to improve on a 3-goal lead unless you score 4 or 5. But I don't think Liverpool will do that against Burnley, given the defensive soundness of Sean Dyche's tactics. And as we've seen last year, very prominent. And obviously the years prior, it's never an easy game when you can come up against Burnley. They're so defensively resolute. And obviously last year was difficult, but fair play to Dan and the Burnley lot anyway. Fully did deserve it. It was one of those, we'd had similar scares in recent years, and obviously when you come up against Dyche and Sam Allardyce and obviously Jose Mourinho's, when they're defensively playing a low block, Liverpool very much struggle. Do you envision Liverpool struggling against this low block? It'd be a very it's a difficult ask, but are you intrigued to see how Liverpool deal with the low block come Saturday on?
Yeah, definitely. It's a very, very difficult and different test. I mean, I've got the results in front of me, the last few results. Since beating Burnley 2-1 at Anfield in 2017 with goals from Gini Wijnaldum and Emre Can in the 61st minute, the results have been 1-1, 4-2, 1-1, and a 0-1 loss for Liverpool. So it's anyone thinking this is going to be easy is, I don't know, very much more optimistic than I am, if assuming that they're a Liverpool fan saying that. But I think the crowd will be, that positive feeling will be a huge factor, and it could all go our way if we get an early goal, for example. But Burnley are a brilliant team. I thought, Burnley were unlucky to lose against Brighton, who are another very, very tricky team to play against. Having scored the first goal, they then hit the woodwork twice, and it could have been 3-0 up at half time. So in terms of Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp said in his post-match interview that the last 10 minutes he wasn't very happy with how Liverpool gave the ball away very cheaply, and that's true. If you watch the ball back, we gave them quite a few chances, and it all depends. I think regarding a low block, Naby Keita's going to play.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure about that, and that's huge for us. And I would go Bobby Firmino against a low block.
Yeah.
Because for me, he's trickier and he can get between those two lines of 4 that we know Dyche is going to play with his 4-4-2, and maybe he have a fifth one coming back as well at times. But like Firmino can occupy like 4 central players alone, and that will open up space for other people. So but no, I'm really looking forward to it. Really am. Can't wait.
Spot on, mate. Yeah, it's great to get to all your comments as well. Really do appreciate everyone for taking time out, and the lads as well. Get through all your comments. If you've got any questions for the panel as well, get them in. I think, Dan, you've already alluded to on this, but just from the lads from the 1892 Reds podcast, cracking channel as well. Just done a video with Chris from the Redmen TV on their channel. So head over if you missed that yesterday. So, but just a quick one on that, Dan. Does it concern you that Burnley haven't made any, but we touched on it slightly before, made you some additions? They could be in a spot of bother this season to stay in the division. Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think last season, as we could say that there were 3 teams worse off than us even before we'd kicked the ball last year. 17th didn't really do us any justice for how we'd played towards that back end. The back end of the season, we had a good run of results. As I say, once we'd beat Fulham and made sure Fulham were down, we were on the beach. I said it on Doug's channel. We're already looking who we're on the red list, the amber list. Where can we go? Lads holiday, Zante, get me there. A couple of bevies. That's it. Everyone's happy. But it was just one of those where this year, every year worries me. Last year for me, I honestly thought was the year that was it. We are down. I honestly got halfway through the season. It got to Christmas. I mean, I don't get excited about Christmas anymore. I'm not 5. But But yeah, when it comes to Burnley, usually it's a worrying time around Christmas, and as I say, it has been difficult. Has been difficult last season, and it worries me this year that if we don't bring in another one or two, we potentially could be a goner.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. And there's Liverpool, when you have targets throughout the season, it's all dependent on players who you bring in, injuries as well, and it makes it. You never foresee how we were top of this Premier League at Christmas anyway, after January time anyway, and then you know what happened. Everyone knows what happens. Our form just dived off the cliff due to injuries, mate. But absolutely spot on there, Mizzy. My thoughts are with Dennis Law. Is dementia, horrible disease. I'm pretty sure the whole of the football world will pay their respects to him and send prayers to his. Yeah, what a legend of the game. Anyway, thoughts with Dennis, and everyone suffering with dementia. Fingers crossed we can get a cure in the future. I'm hearing Sean Dyche is to narrate the new Jurassic Park movie. You never know. He's got a great voice, Danny. Very barely.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine? That's it though. The dinosaur in Jurassic Park is blue. And what they're going to do? Release a sister version called Claret.
Yeah.
Bloody hell!
Put a Bailey badge on the. I definitely Pickford will be starring in that as well as an appearance in the T-Rex for Everton anyway. But yeah, the dugout. I don't. It doesn't. I know he doesn't represent Manchester United, but all my thoughts with Dennis Law. That one. Sorry, mate. McNeil looks like a real talent. If he gets injured, I would think you look in trouble. Yeah, it was just a quick one, Dan, on your danger men. Just a quick one. Obviously, Dwight McNeil, fantastic player, little tricky player. I thought when we sold Harry Wilson, Burnley would have possibly come in for a Harry Wilson, someone that's good on set pieces. And just a quick lowdown on your Gunnarsson. I really do like him as a player. Very tricky customer, the Icelandic player anyway. But just a quick lowdown on your key danger men that Liverpool really need to look out for on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, look out for someone that's already been and already caused problems once. Ashley Westwood has got a really good whip on him from a corner. I mean, we've all seen him score straight from a corner at Anfield previously, which, that was a strange one.
That takes some going.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it does. There's some serious whip on that to get that in. But yeah, Dwight McNeil, I mean, he's an absolute baller, but he's half of the time he plays like he's got Ebola. He picks his games. He picks his games, really. And on his day, he's absolutely world class. But when he shrugs around the pitch and he just comes across like, it looks like he couldn't be arsed. I mean, the second half against Brighton, he was absolutely just, he might as well have not been there. He was just a shadow. But yeah, when he's actually on his day, he's absolutely class. And if you get him and Wood together, both firing, the ball's in, getting a solid head onto it, just nicking it with a toe, like the poacher that he can be. That'd be my top three: Westwood, Chris Wood, and Dwight McNeil. And I think I have to say them just due to obviously set pieces and crosses, which is where you'd expect goals to come.
Got a goal at the weekend, didn't he? It's so you've got to be so switched on when you play against a Sean Dyche side. Anyway, haven't we? Dan, just a quick one: set pieces. We're going to the starting 11 as well, and we'll wrap it up. Dan, you're 1 to 11, Dan, for Liverpool on Saturday. Scouse Dan.
Scouse Dan. Yeah, sorry, I jumped ahead, didn't I? Before,
No,
I think it might. No, sorry, my team would be obviously Alisson in goal is going to start. We know that. Trent right back, Andy Robbo. I don't think there might be a little change at the back because you might not want to. Obviously, both Van Dijk and Matip were both injured at the tail end of last season, wasn't he? You might want to change that up and give one of them a little breather. But no, I think Burnley being so good at the set pieces, I think he'll want to focus on Van Dijk, obviously, and Matip's like a giant, isn't he, as well? So I don't think he'll make too many changes there. Midfield's where I think the changes are going to be. I think Fabinho will come in for James Milner, and I think Thiago will come in for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think Keita, while he's fit, he'll want to get as many games out of him because we know he's not going to start many. So while he's fit, you may as well play him. before he gets sick or he gets an injury in training, you know. And then up top, I suppose it's Salah's going to start, Mane's going to start. It's Jota or Firmino. I think he'll go Firmino just to freshen it up.
Yeah, spot on there. Owen, you're 1 to 11, mate.
Sorry, Dan, you said Andy Robbo. Is he fit? Robbo?
Sorry, did I say Andy Robertson? No, forget it. You know what I meant, Tsimikas, yeah. It's just because he's been such a stalwart. You just sort of say him, don't you?
Yeah.
Sorry,
okay,
of course, Tsimikas.
He has been in training. I wouldn't put it
No, he won't.
Andy Robbo to...
You've definitely got to save him for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Get him fit for that Chelsea game.
If he's even back by then, but yeah, no, I mean he did post some photos of him running.
Somehow
and
he's out on the football pitch already.
Iron Brew, mate.
Yeah, pretty great. Iron Brew, rubbing Iron Brew in his ankle. So I don't know. Yeah, Alisson in goal. Yeah, the back four, same back four. The midfield three, Fabinho definitely, Keita definitely, and I'd go James Milner for all of his magical efforts last week, running more than any other player in the Premier League at age 35. Extraordinary stuff. And then I'd have Henderson off the bench if he's approaching fitness as well. That'd be very, very nice. It should be a nice bench. And then up front, yeah, as I said before, Bobby, Firmino, and Mane and Salah. Good stats for you, actually. 1892 Reds in the next comment. He says, I think Owen will love this. Burnley's last back-to-back winning away at Liverpool was in 1897. Look at that. That's really good. I actually saw that stat on
record today to be broken. I'm not saying
Google. Well, no, it's true, but this is a good one as well. Liverpool have lost their first home league match in just 3 of the last 55 seasons and have won each of the last 8 first home games of the season. So the omens are good. But you never know in football. That's why.
All I'll say is, so was a 60-odd game unbeaten run. But as you've already stated, games are, rules are there to be broken.
Oh no, those omens were horrible. The stars were misaligned. There were, witches casting hexes.
Yeah, they were from Pendle. We brought them with us.
We moved to a new facility, Dan, a new training ground, and apparently it's not good luck anyway. And surprisingly, all that since we moved, all our injured players started. Well, all the players last year started getting injured.
I live in the town where the training ground is, and honestly, I didn't always live here, but it's synonymous with ancients witchcraft.
Really, that's very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I think I might go down there next week and just give us some good luck anyway.
Bruce Grobbelaar needs to come down and we on the post, doesn't he?
Yeah, I will. But yeah, it's quickly the 1893 Reds podcast. Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Degree, Robbo, Keita, Milner, Fabinho, Salah, Mane, and Robbo. Bobby. Owen, did you finish your starting lineup there, mate?
It was exactly the same one as the 1892 Reds podcast.
Yeah, absolutely cracking there, boys. And Dan, Burnley lineup. Who do you envision will start for Sean? On Saturday?
Same side that played in 1967. It'll be Pope in goal. Lawton at right back. Tarkowski and me at the back. Charlie Taylor at left back. I think Goodmanson, as much as he got man of the match for Burnley last week, will be on the bench. I think he'll be one of those that gives us a bit of extra legs in the dying third if we've got still something to cling on to in the game. So I'm going to go for Brownhill on the right, even though he's a centre mid, but we love to play central midfielders out on the wing. Don't know why. We did it with strikers at one point on the left. Just it baffles me.
Imagine Chris Wood on the wing.
Jesus. It's bad enough having Chris Wood up front sometimes. But yeah, no, it'd be Westwood and Cork in the centre, McNeil on the left, and as I said on Doug's channel, Jay Rodriguez, I am very, very sorry, but you are dropping to the bench for this game. Matej Vidra comes back into the fray alongside Chris Wood.
Yeah,
I've
I
got
very
a
much.
thing about Vidra though. Sorry, because I interviewed someone for Cop on the other day who's got a podcast called Turfcast. Sorry to bring up an enemy, Dan.
Hey, no, he's all right. He's nice. He's nice. I get
Yeah,
it. We get on.
Yeah, he's a great guy, Joe. But he was
Yeah.
saying that Vidra apparently he got married in the summer, and he's a Czech guy, and they used to live in the Czech Republic, and they do the best beer in the world. And he's come back a little bit overweight. That's the rumor that he heard. So that's why maybe he might not start. But
it'd fit in round Burnley. Christ,
I was going to
surprised he
say,
didn't get his.
I definitely haven't been married, and since lockdown, I've put on a bit of a belly, mate. Yeah, no, but spot on, lads. Everyone, Sean, 1892 Reds podcast, Mitchell, Big as well, Dave, make sure Sean as well, Steve, Jay, Chris, and most importantly, the three lads that have joined me, Owen from Cop On, Dan from the Mighty Reds TV, and Dan from the Turfmoor House TV as well. Really do appreciate it, lads. Dan, Turfmoor, just shout out your socials, mate, so everyone can head over and subscribe.
No worries. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. Most importantly, it's nice enough to speak to you all and give my insight. So thank you very much for that. But yeah, if you are interested, obviously, I don't think you will be because we're a Burnley channel, but we are going to start doing a bit more Premier League stuff just to, branch out a bit more, not just keep it to Burnley stuff, but although I don't want to break away from that. But yeah, if you are interested, do head on over, give us a subscribe on YouTube. We're all, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even Spotify. We're all under the same name at Turfmoor House. So head on over and show us some love.
Yeah, no, I really do appreciate the amazing football and family on my channel, Owens, as well, and the Mighty Reds and every Liverpool fan and football family in general. It's great. And I think football over the last 18 months, we've all come together, and I think we do need to, because we've still got to stick together with so much horrible stuff in football, obviously the Super League and on other as well. But I think head over, Reds. Make sure you do head over to Dan's channel and show your support. So show your support. Owen,
only takes a click, guys. Just takes a click. Little subscribe. Won't cost you nothing. Help out a brother, innit? Give him a little click. Or that way. I always do that. I can never get that right.
I do that.
It burns my head out.
I've got too many screens on the go. I'm looking at what's look at the people on the tarmac anyway. Needs to get me yellow and red lights out. But yeah, spot on there, lads. Owen, just shout out your socials as well, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look at that. Wow.
Oh, spot on there. You at the ground there, Saturday.
Yeah, an official unveiling, Owen.
Look at that. Wow. Yeah, I've changed location. So yeah, if you go on Twitter at Carpon Podcast and you look at my bio, then there's a link tree thing that I just set up today, and it's got all the links that anyone might need. Because as I say, we're starting this YouTube thing. We're having a sort of beta test run tomorrow, with a Burnley. Burnley. We'll be talking about Burnley, but we'll be previewing all of the Premier League games. And I'm delighted to say, Jack, you're going to be with us. And it's open to everybody as well. And we've got a few different guests, so that's exciting. And then otherwise, it's just the podcast, the usual audio thing. It's always free. It's ad free. It's for everybody. And thank you very much for the invite, Jack. It's been a pleasure and great to speak to the Dans as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Dan as well from the Mighty Reds TV. Make sure you head over, show your support to Dan. Absolute legend.
I'm going to try it. I got it right. There
we go.
Right first time.
Yeah, shout out your socials, matey.
Yeah. Well, the Mighty Reds television. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. And I'll tell you a little story. I started making YouTube videos last year, and he went out to a grand total of about 20 people. And I think that was like me dad and my mum watching them on repeat play. And then I made a video about COVID testing. Just filmed it. It took me 2 minutes, and they're absolutely flying. I think they've both had nearly 1,000 views each now. So we might well have a rebrand into being the COVID testing TV. Who knows? But if you want to follow any Mighty Reds TV, do give me a follow. Would appreciate it. it's a bit lonely in there. I'll just say that.
No, we all will be heading over, Dan, and we've got
Definitely.
got each other's backs anyway. We support each other as well, mate. But I do appreciate all three of you for coming on, lads, and everyone most importantly in the comment section below, showing the support as always, and everyone on all the socials. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I very much have. Been an absolute pleasure to get the lads on, and everyone have a lovely rest of your weekend, and fingers crossed the Reds can get 3 points.
It's a whole mess.
All right. See you later, Mr. Banana.
Banana, man.
Yeah, but thank you very much, Reds. It will be a very difficult game against Burnley. You never walk alone, Reds, and I'll see you later.